Hey guys, it is Forge here and welcome back to a brand new video, and we are on the All the Mods 10 pack today. So to get started, let's go ahead and punch down a tree to get ourselves some wood. So there are two ways we could approach getting started with this. We could go straight the traditional way and go mining, but since as this is modded, let's go ahead and check out the structures around the world and see what we can find in the chests. There's a rainbow here, so I guess I'll just set off in this direction and hopefully it'll be lucky. And I've come across some sort of well structure. I wonder if this will have any good loot for me, or if it... Yep, it just looks like a well. Looks like there's no chests. Oh, there is one down there. Let's go ahead and make a pickaxe real quick. Got myself a wooden pickaxe and also completed a few quests along the way. We'll go through that in a bit, but let's go ahead and break this guy out, and maybe down here. Let's kind of dig our way down to it actually. And there you go. We've got some emeralds, we've got some iron nuggets and a name tag. That's pretty nice. A good start. And what I've been in desperate need of, that is food. We've got some hay bales. Hopefully there'll be some more stuff. Oh, we got some computer craft stuff in here. So I found some good stuff in this immersive engineering room. Obviously these storage crates don't work like they used to, and if you break them they do not hold their contents anymore, which is a little bit sad. But we can go ahead and have a look under this one. We found a good amount of copper. I don't really want the rest of this immersive engineering stuff quite yet though, but also we can go ahead and shift and right click villagers to actually pick them up, because we have the easy villagers mod installed. And I've come across the jackpot of inventory management. That is the EvilCraft reinforced chest. This thing does actually hold its content. I've also found a few artifacts around which are really helpful. We've got this icebreaker as well in here, so not really sure what that does, but we'll work it out later. This is great. We can now hold a ton of stuff in this chest as well as in our inventory, and then I can just pick it up with a pickaxe when I need to. Although you do need something that can break at iron level. Luckily I have this copper pickaxe, so that'll be great for grabbing this guy. So all in all, this village was pretty great. We've managed to get ourselves 2 villagers and also 2 reinforced chests, which are going to be great for carrying some stuff around. But I need to keep moving now and check out some more structures and see what we can find. So I've been doing quite a lot of exploring now, and I've come across this new structure here, but as you'll see I am very much running out of inventory space. These are very full, so this will probably be my last kind of structure before we kind of look for somewhere to settle. And sorry if it gets a little laggy, I'm just loading new chunks I think. Okay, this looks like some sort of giant jungle temple, kind of creepy looking. Some bones, we'll take that. A antidote vessel. This enhances the relic bearer's resistance to effects. That sounds very useful. You'll also be wondering how I got blaze rods and gas tears. Well, I just found them in some structures. Let's go ahead and throw this on the charm slot, which is that one, and I'm gonna assume there's more stuff down here, although this does not look very safe. There's a lot of pressure plates around here, and I'm not seeing too many chests for the risk I'm about to do, so I'll see if I can find anything good. So as I suspected, this room does look to be completely wired with redstone. I'm not 100% sure what it does. I'm kind of tempted. Oh, that sounded like a whole lot of arrows, and they were flaming ones as well. Oh wow. Aha, I see where they're coming from. They're coming from over there. Okay, that's not too dangerous. Let's see if there's anything good over here behind this wood maybe. Oh no, this is where this has collided with an apotheosis structure by the looks of it. Actually doesn't look like there was too much in that temple though, so I'm not gonna bother looking around too much, but hopefully there'll be a chest up here. And we've got some enchanted books. We got Fortune 3. That is very nice. That'll be great when we go mining. So I've grabbed everything out of here. I think that is probably worth it. I do see another structure over there. It looks like a village, but up in the trees. That looks kind of interesting. I might check that out on my way, but I think I'm going to try and find somewhere to settle down now. So in my searches for a base, I've come across this really cool looking ship, and it's kind of buried into this. I'm being attacked by drones, aren't I? But yeah, this kind of nestled into here. I think with a little bit of work, you know, putting in some more cobble and, you know, moss around here, we can make this look really cool. But I have spotted some spawners around here, so I'm gonna have to be kind of careful, because I think I am going to have to fight for this ship. But I think this would make a pretty cool little starter base, so let's go ahead and we will have a look and see if we can take out all these spawners before we are absolutely killed by them. That was such a funny noise. What was that? I'll be back. Oh, that was amazing. What is this? Mine colonies by the looks of it. Fleet. Yep, there's definitely some down here as well. So let's see if we can take these guys out. There is some gold in here as well. There must be another spawn around this corner. Yep, there definitely is. This is very hard to do with the water. Let's see if we can break this spawner out for another one respawns. And hopefully that'll be everyone. Hopefully. I love these guys' voice lines. They are actually amazing. Oh, he broke my shield. Oh, there are more of them spawning. There are lots of these guys. Wow. Why am I hearing banging noises like they're trying to... Oh, right, that's where they're coming from, in here still. From my checks, this place seems to be all good to go now. I seem to have taken everybody out. And we've also got some pretty good loot in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and set up down below, I think. Some work has been done now, and I've kind of cleared up this deck so it's a bit easier to get around. I haven't looted any of these chests fully yet because there is a lot of stuff in them, and I just haven't got storage set up. But the most work has been done down below, where you can see I've completely cleared out most of the clutter down here. I've still got these chests full of stuff which I'll have to sort out, but I do want to get some sophisticated storage chests in here instead of some regular vanilla chests. So we'll get to making those in a second, but you can see I've removed all the water and kind of cleaned up around here in general. I think these lanterns are gonna have to go. Can they go on walls? Yes, they can go on walls, yeah, because they were just a little bit in the way around here. I can just do that with them, and now I can kind of walk around. I'm gonna need another one, I think, for back here, just to make it not spawnable. But before we get into any of that, I would like to have a look through this quest book for the All the Mods 10 pack. And as you can see from this page, this is what we're going to be aiming for at the end of this pack. This All the Mods 10 start, which helps us get creative items from here. So you can see from here, we can go ahead and make all of these items. And as I've been exploring and going around the world, I've completed quite a few of these quests already, as you can see by all these little exclamation marks. And this here is chapter 1 at the beginning, and I've worked my way through quite a few of these quests. So we can go ahead and click into them and just claim all of these, and we get XP for a lot of them. It's also quite helpful for talking you through each of the mods. So this is something we're going to kind of be using as we play through the pack. Oh yeah, and I should mention there is a nice little click to collect all rewards button up in this corner. So there you go, we just got a bunch of stuff from that. So now let's get to making some sophisticated storage stuff, and we're just going to make the chest for now. We'll get to upgrading a bit later. I don't have too much stuff, but to start with, we're just going to need some of these redstone torches. I don't have too much redstone at the moment. Also, we're going to need some planks, but if we stick a redstone torch in the middle of a normal chest recipe, we can get a spruce chest or any type of chest depending on the wood you use. And then we can go ahead and kind of place these around. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put them, but I guess we'll start here. And these have kind of upgrade slots. We can also upgrade these to make them bigger, kind of like iron chests. So now that I've got a couple of these lying around, I'm just going to kind of get started sorting all of this stuff out, and also all of this stuff out, and the stuff in these reinforced chests. So I'm doing pretty good down here now. I have sorted everything out into different chests. Got a few overflow chests here. We've got all of my artifacts down here, and I have found quite a few, including the ones I've got equipped as well. And then we've got kind of the tools over here, because I very much ran out of space in this chest over here. We've also got a lot of these codex entries from Ars Editions, which teach random tier 1 glyphs to you, and we might as well go ahead and use these. You just do that by right clicking, and we probably won't use these today, but they will be useful later on. But now I think I need to do a little bit of mining. I've also got this turtle from one of the villages. I should have mentioned that as well as this pig trophy. But as I was saying, I need to do a little bit of mining. But before we do that, I do want to go ahead and try and make a backpack, if I can remember how to do that. As it turns out, I could not remember how to do that, so let's just go ahead and use JEI, and we've made one of these guys. I also want to make a crafting table on a stick, just so we don't have to carry around a crafting table. Then we can go ahead and throw that into the crafting table on a stick GUI, and I can go ahead and open that up now with a hotkey. And also, before we head out, I should probably go ahead and upgrade this backpack a little bit. So let's make it into a copper one. This helps me make a slightly cheaper iron backpack, and then we'll go ahead and take it up to gold tier. And since I only have 1 diamond at the moment, we're not going to be able to take it up to the diamond tier, but now I can stick it there, and I have access to all this extra space as well. Another quick quick thing I'd like to do before I go mining is actually use this Fortune 3 book on a pickaxe, and I would like to get a diamond one, and thankfully there are these deep slate like meteors around the world that tend to have diamonds located within them, and there you go, straight away we've got enough diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe. I'm also going to collect everything up that I can from around this meteor as well. So now let's go ahead and craft a diamond pickaxe with the diamonds I have found, and then we'll use this anvil I also found throughout one of the structures. And now we've got Fortune 3 pick, and now we'll just save this for any diamonds or anything else I find that's worth using Fortune on. So with all that sorted, I think I am about ready to go mining, so I'll be right back with you guys when I have some more resources. It's been a little while now, and I have been mining, and I've got loads and loads of resources, so many that I cannot fit them all in this chest. So we're just going to upgrade these chests to iron tier so they'll be able to hold way more resources, and I think I'm going to try and make some of these tier 1 stack upgrades as well that we can put in this slot here just to make these chests even bigger. Although these are a little pricey, we should be able to do it. So we'll start by tiering up the chests, so let's go ahead and make 12 of these copper tier upgrades, and then we're going to want to make 12 of the iron ones. I think it's 12. Oh, that's way too much. That's very wrong. There you go. Let's do it like that. And now we can just go ahead and right click each of these chests, and you'll see they are now significantly bigger. And for these two, I think I'm going to go ahead and throw at least one of these in there so we can go ahead and make this tier 1 upgrade. And then we're going to need some copper blocks. I'm going to need more copper. So to speed up that process, we're just going to go ahead and upgrade some of these furnaces, firstly making some copper ones, and then we'll go ahead and make some iron ones as well, and those are just made just like this, and then with some glass on the sides. And then I guess we might as well upgrade these to gold, although they do actually take a block of gold each, but we'll just go ahead and do that. And then these are pretty quick furnaces and should help us out a lot, so we can throw that in there, and you'll see these are a lot quicker than regular furnaces, so we should be able to get a lot more ore smelted. And now we should be able to go ahead and craft these tier +1 upgrades. I'm not 100% sure why they're tier 1 plus, but there you go. We can chuck those in there, and now you'll see if I press this sort inventory, things will stack beyond the size of 64 as it multiplies the slot size by 3. And we can do the same in this one here. Now that we've got that all sorted, I think I would like to kind of get some basic ore processing going, and the way we're going to do that is using the Actually Additions mod, one that hasn't been around for a long time in recent versions of Minecraft and has recently been updated to 1.21.1, so I figured now's a great chance to use it. But to generate power, I'm afraid the coal generator from the mod just doesn't cut it seems, so I'm going to be going with this emerald generator, which seems like my best way of generating energy at the moment. It is a little expensive. I'm going to need some diamonds and some gold, and you know, tiering up basically, kind of like the iron furnaces and these chests here. So let's get started, and we'll start with the generator. So we're going to need to start with one of these copper ones, so we'll make a furnace, and then we'll go ahead and upgrade this guy like so. And now we've made that guy, we can go ahead and turn him into an iron one, and then we can go ahead and turn it into a gold one, and basically you get the gist. It's basically the same crafting recipe but with different materials. So we'll go all the way up to the emerald one, and we're going to use some of these energy pipes and item pipes from the pipes mod. So let's go ahead and make the wrench for configuring things in this mod, and then we can make the pipes. So we'll go ahead and just make 16 of those, and we'll go ahead and make some of these item ones as well, just for moving items around. And I believe from the quests then we're going to get a ton more of these pipes. As you can see, now we're up to like 40 and 32 of each. And now let's get started on crafting some of this stuff. So the first thing we're going to need is the atomic reconstructor, and this is used for making most of the materials from the Actually Additions mod. So we'll go ahead and make one of these iron casings, which is just made from some of this black quartz which you find down in the mines, and then we can go ahead and turn that into an atomic reconstructor like so. So I think we'll just set this stuff up in this area over here. We'll chuck down the emerald generator, then we'll take the energy pipe, pull it out of the side here, although we probably don't need this. We could probably just stick this directly on the side here, and hopefully this will charge. But we'll go ahead and stick some coal in here. It'll start generating energy. Oh, and I need a redstone torch to stop this thing from firing off constantly, don't I, and just wasting energy. So if we right click this now, it changes to pulse mode, and then if we go ahead and grab a button and place it on here, we can actually set this off via button. And what this guy will do is you can throw down some items down in front of it. So let's go ahead and make some of this redstone dust. into the Restonia crystals from this mod. We press this button and it zaps them into the Restonia crystals. And you can do this with the blocks as well. So I can put this down here and you'll see it now activated. You'll see it activated because this was actually a redstone block and it activated it itself. But we're going to need to do this with some of the iron as well. I'm not going to do too much of this because I don't have loads of iron right now. And we can make some of these Inori crystals. And now from here, let's get crafting some stuff. So let's start with the double crusher, which we're going to need 2 of these crushers for. So let's go ahead and make some of these basic coils like so. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to need some more flint actually. And now we should have enough stuff to make 2 of these crushers like so. And then we can go ahead and upgrade this to the double crusher. So we're just going to need some more iron casing. We're going to need some of these advanced coils, I think. So we're going to need a couple more of these basic ones. Then we're going to need some more gold nuggets by the looks of it. And then we can upgrade these guys like so, making 2 of those. And we have ourselves a double crusher. So let's go ahead and stick this guy down here. So what this guy will do is he will crush stuff down. And I've got this on auto split, so it auto splits between the 2 slots. And it'll give us 1.5 times the amount of iron or gold or whatever out of the raw versions. So if we throw that in there, oh, I need to set these to actually pull out of here, don't I? So it pulls the power out and you can see now it's starting to grind these down. And now if we go ahead and get this powered furnace, we can go ahead and place this guy down next to him. And I don't believe there's auto import and export out of these guys, so we are actually going to have to use these item pipes. But if I go here to here and then wrench this guy to pull out of here, he'll start pulling the copper out and this will start getting processed down into copper ingots. And now I've just gone ahead and chucked in all of my ores to this iron chest, or my raw ores, and they'll hopefully get processed through and then passed into this guy here and then over into this chest where we should get 1.5 times approximately the amount of resources. And I have had to add a second one of these emerald generators. This might be a bit overkill, but the first one was not keeping up with all of this. So yeah, this is quite power intensive. These might not be the most efficient way to go, but you know what? I wanted to use actually additions. And if you get sick of hearing this crusher constantly, we do have the sound muffler mod, or I can't remember what it's called right now, but you can see we have the crusher from actually additions right here, and we can go ahead and muffle the sound. And now silence. Oh, that is so much better. I do love machine sounds, but they do get a bit annoying. So now that we've got all of this all set up and I've got loads and loads of ores coming in and now, or ores being smelted, that is, I've been thinking what I want to do next. And I'm thinking we're going to take a look at the EvilCraft mod. This is all about collecting blood and kind of using it for nefarious reasons, I guess. But the thing that really drew me to this was this Vengeance pickaxe, which is a pickaxe with Fortune 5 on it by default, although it seems like it's got some negative downsides, but we'll kind of deal with those when we get to them. But I kind of would like to get to this, but I'd like to at least get started kind of collecting some blood and getting things started. So I've never really used this mod, so I'm going to be kind of relying on the quest book to kind of learn it, as well as I think the Origins of Darkness book, which we're going to have to get somehow. I do have one already by the looks of it. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. There you go. We can have a look in this guy and we can see there's all sorts of pages and stuff. So I've had a quick read through this book and it seems it's split into 2 ages, the first and second age. And I've kind of read all through the first age, so all of these bits, and I'll let you read through that yourself because it is a lot to read through. We've got some stuff about spirits, which kind of seem like they're going to be important because in the quest book, it literally says this pickaxe will summon some spirits. So here's where we seem to need to start. We need to start collecting up some blood, so we're going to need a blood extractor, and it seems if we combine 2 of these together they actually increase in size. So let's go ahead and make a couple of these. We're just going to need some of these spikes from EvilCraft, and then we'll go ahead and make 1 and 2 of these guys, and let's see if we combine these guys together. Yeah, we get one that can hold 10,000 millibuckets, so I might make a bit more of these just to kind of increase the size that we can hold. And from what it says in the book, just killing some mobs will allow me to pick this up if it's in my inventory. Also, we get these blood splatters if things fall from a high height, and if we shift and right click we are able to pick those up, it seems. So I've headed over to land and I think I'm going to try this out on these sheep, although it is turning nighttime, so we should have an opportunity to kill some other mobs. And we've got 183 millibuckets of blood blood. So I have been fighting a lot of mobs, as you can probably tell from my armor, and I now have 20,000 millibuckets of blood. So let's find out what we want to do with this blood. So this chapter here, the powers of blood, should tell me. So it would seem the next step is to actually place the blood in world and throw a dark gem into it. So if we come to one of these spots, yep, that is very much in water. I'm probably just going to need to build a little area to place this blood in. So let's go ahead and do that and go just 1, 2, 3. And then I think we just right click and it turns the blood there, and then we chuck this dark gem in, and from what I understand that should turn into a powered dark gem. So it says in the book I'm going to need at least 5 of these source blocks, so let's chuck that, and it uses all 5. Oh wow, that is very expensive. But there you go, we got ourselves one of these dark power gems, and I think from there, if we have a look in the book, now we can go ahead, we also can make these blood shards just by drying out blood, but we can go ahead and make this blood infusion core. So we're going to actually need some of these hardened blood shards. So if I just go to 3 and then I leave this here, it should eventually harden. So while that's drying out, the next thing it talks about is making this blood chest, but I think I'm going to skip over this for now. It just can basically heal your tools, but it gives a chance of giving curses to the tool, and that just doesn't seem too useful to me right now. But what we're going to need is actually this blood infuser. This actually makes making these dark gems a lot cheaper. It makes it use 250 millibuckets to do this, which is a lot better than 5,000. And it seems once we've made the blood infuser, we're going to want this undead tree to actually make these sticks, I think, for the pickaxe that we want. And to do that, we're going to need to get a dead bush, which is just shearing a sapling, and then we put that in the blood infuser, 800 millibuckets of blood, and we get the undead sapling. And from this wood we can make all sorts of stuff here, it looks like. I've been trying to get this blood to dry out, but it really just does not seem to want to. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to make this drying basin from Integrated Dynamics. This is something it mentions in the quest book, so let me get the stuff together for this. So I've got the drying basin here. Let's go ahead and just throw this down right here, I guess, and put that in there, and hopefully this will eventually dry now. I'm not exactly 100% sure how long it takes. I might just be being impatient. Okay, yeah, that was a lot quicker. It wasn't drying in the world for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm surrounded by water or something, I'm not sure, but we got some of this now, and I can either smelt this up, or I think if I just break it, it says with a flint and steel, it should drop these blood shards. So now we can go ahead and make the infused core, I think it is, yeah, the blood infusion core, just like that. And then from there, I think we just surround it with cobblestone, and we get the blood infuser. So let's go ahead and place this down next to this guy. And now we need to make that tree, don't we? So I need a sapling. So I'm crafting a dead bush like so, and then we can go ahead and throw that in there. I think I need to provide it with a bit of blood, and this should actually start working. That is quite slow though. And there you go, that should be all done, and we've got an undead sapling. So now I guess let's try and grow this sapling up, and I'm thinking it should work on moss, hopefully, although I should have really brought some dirt just to do it out in this area because I'm not sure there's enough space. So let's go ahead and plant this guy, and I'm hoping bone meal will work on it. Yep, and we have ourselves some undead logs. Let's go ahead and chop this guy down. Please give me some saplings back, and don't tell me I have to do that every time. Oh, it looks like I have to do that every time. I've just got some dead bushes back. So it seems after I complained about how slow this guy is, there is actually a way to upgrade it, and that's with these promises here, the tenacity one, the productivity one, and the velocity one. And it seems like we're actually going to need these tenacity promises to progress a bit in the mod, so we need to make these guys here, and basically these will allow us to unlock new recipes that we can go ahead and make. So you can see, to make a corrupted tear we need this promise of tenacity 3. But before we get into any of that, I think we do now have all of the stuff we need to make this vengeance pickaxe. So let's go ahead and try and make this guy. So to start with, we're going to actually need to make some of the sticks, I think, from this mod. Oh, those are just normal sticks. Oh yeah, we need to stick these guys on top, don't we? There you go, let's make some dark sticks, and then we have the hardened blood shards. And yeah, it seems like we've got this. I don't know what Curse of Vengeance does though. So from reading Age 1, it seems Curse of Vengeance is an enchantment that will spawn vengeance spirits, and I believe these are things that spawn when you kill mobs, and I believe they can attack you, so that does make this pick quite dangerous to use. And as I mentioned before, there is a whole bit about spirits in this book. So in this section about spirit protection, it seems there are two ways that can stop spirits. There's this thing here, the burning gemstone, in which we just cook a dark block, and this will basically passively convert vengeance spirit damage into hunger, which does sound like a very easy way to do this. Or we could use these vengeance rings and craft them with this garmonbosia to make these spectral glasses, and these make me invisible to them, I believe. But looking into making this garmonbosia a bit more, it seems like we're going to need to do a lot more blood magic, and I think we're going to leave that for another day. So just to get to use this pickaxe, let's try and make this burning gemstone. And this seems super simple to make. We just need one of these dark blocks, and then we throw it in a furnace, and it should make us the burning gemstone. I should imagine this is going to be consumed though. So I just want to try using this on these blocks here. And of course, the pickaxe seems to have durability, and that was a spooky sound. It seems like we have spawned a vengeance spirit, although I cannot see it. But yeah, it seems we have this burning stone is doing what it should do. This is really creepy. So I think we need to craft this vengeance ring, or I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, the vengeance ring, and then shift right click. And now this is really giving me the creeps, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now we should be able to see these spirits, I think, if I understand this correctly, although it is making me invisible and giving me jump boost, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, from reading this book, it seems I should be able to see these spirits even when this thing is disabled. It just says if enabled, it will give me powers and also attract more spirits. I'm not sure why I couldn't see one there, although it definitely did show up on my mini map up in the top corner. But I think I should just keep this burning gemstone on me. It doesn't seem to be being consumed, but I think that's enough of the EvilCraft mod today. So just to finish off today, I would like to get started with some stuff from the Easy Villagers mod, just to kind of get some enchanted books going, so in between episodes I can upgrade all of my tools. So I'm gonna go ahead and craft up some of these blocks here, which are gonna make villager breeding and villager handling really easy. So firstly, we'll make 2 of these traders. These just allow you to trade with villagers but within a block. We're going to want a farmer, although I don't have a water bucket on me. There you go, I'll grab that. This just allows me to basically harvest crops from within one block. We'll make a breeder, which is going to allow us to breed the villagers, a converter, which lets you convert the villagers to cheapen their trades, and then an incubator just for growing up the baby villagers we produce. So I've placed these down over here, and we've got some villagers that I've collected along the way. So we'll go ahead and place this guy here into the farming station, and then probably put these 2 into the breeder right here. And I guess we'll just go ahead and grab some carrots for now, and these will allow us to get basically more and more carrots to, oh, I need to right click this in, don't I? Yeah, so this guy will farm up some carrots now, and he'll put them into this output slot and allow us to basically collect up carrots, which we will then probably give to these guys just to breed them so we can get more and more baby villagers. But while we're waiting on some carrots to grow, you'll see he's already produced 5. That's pretty good. But we'll throw in this bread here, and this will allow these guys now to breed up and give us some baby villagers. So I'm just gonna have to wait on these guys now basically. And now we can see it's used some of the food and it's produced a baby villager, and we can go ahead and throw this guy in here, and I've already got one in, but it'll eventually take in this baby villager and then grow it into an adult one. So now I've got 2 fully grown villagers. We can go ahead and place these composters in here and grab a villager, and he'll turn into a farmer, or he should do. There you go. And we can go ahead and we can cycle through his trades to get the ones we want. This makes it really easy. And then please have some carrots for me. We can go ahead and trade with this guy for emeralds. And now this is essentially going to be a grind. I'm probably going to make 2 farmer villagers just so I can keep producing emeralds, and then I'm going to need to get some lectins in there and start making some librarians to get mending and fortune, even though I've got a fortune 5 pick, and you know, all the other enchantments we're going to need. But I'm probably going to leave that for me to do between episodes, because that is a very grindy thing to do and you guys do not want to watch me do that. And it seems we've run out of time for this one, so I would like to thank you guys for watching this one. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.